Hello and welcome. In today's video I'm going to show you how I take this tiny little circuit that I'm holding right here and I'm turning it into this awesome looking pedal that I'm holding in my hands right here. So let's go. The first thing you're going to need is this. Now this is a PAM8403 and it looks like this. You can see, there it is. Next thing you're going to need is a buck converter. It looks like this. And here you have the name. It's a DC to DC LM2596. And you're going to have to set this to 5 volt because this little circuit here doesn't take the 9 volt that we get from our power supply as a guitar pedal. It only takes 5. So you need this little buck converter in between in order to get the right power without burning this little circuit. If we look closely at this, we have power plus and minus. And they will be connected on this board to the out here on the plus and the minus. So just a cable from this plus to this plus and a cable from this minus out to this minus on the power. The next thing you're going to need is a DC jack so you can power up your cable. It looks like this. This leg here will be the ground leg or the minus. And this leg here will be the plus leg or the lead signal. And those will be connected to the in on this. So you see how there's a plus in? That's where this leg here will be connected, and there's a minus in, and that will be connected to this bigger leg right here. And that's how you power the signal. Now you're also going to need 2 jacks. They look like this, so you can plug in your guitar. It goes in like this, the cable, and you have 2 legs that stick out here. This one is connected to the middle here and will be connected to the shaft of the cable, and that's your ground. This connector here is for the cable that gives you the lead signal, so that will be connected to your lead. Next thing you're going to need is a switch. We want to make this into a true bypass pedal that lets you go from having the effect on to turning the effect off. The next thing you're going to need is an LED to turn the lights on and off so that the pedal shows that it's turned on or turned off. You're also going to need a resistor. Now you can either go with a 1K resistor, a 2.2K resistor, or a 3.3K resistor, and any in between. And you might find something that works well for you. If you go with a 1K, you'll get the brightest the LED can be without any issues. But if you go with something like a 3.3 or something even higher, then it will be a little bit dimmer. All right, so let's take a look at this and I'll show you how this is wired up. So there we have a ground for our input. If you look really closely, right there you can say it says input. The L stands for left and the B stands for right. I don't know why they've written it with a B on this side, because on this side they've written it with an R. So it's a little bit confusing, but just know that the G is for ground. It'll connect a black wire there, and you can put maybe a green wire, for example, on the left here. If you decide to go with the left channel, then you'll have a ground on the minus out and a lead signal out from this here. And that's how you turn this into a boost pedal. It's a little bit boring and a little bit noisy, so you might want to add some capacitor or something to ground off the signal a little bit. But you can do something really fun and interesting here, and that is you can have your ground here, and you can have your left here, you can have your left right here. But instead of having the left go out to your jack, or a switch in this case, to be able to turn this on and off, you can actually have this left go back in the right channel here and go through the pedal again and come out on this right channel's out, basically doubling the effect. And if you do that, you get a fuzz pedal because you're going to overdrive this into fuzz. And you'll get some really nice, glitchy, gated, messy fuzz sounds. It's not a particularly sustained fuzz, but it is kind of fun anyway. Now, optionally, you can add a switch that looks like this, and you can decide if you want to have both. So you can either wire this up, just going in and coming out, or go in, come out, go back in, and come out again. Or you can splice in the switch in between and have both. And the way I did it, which I'm going to tell you about right now, is that I had the effect come in through the left channel, come out through the left channel, be connected to this upper leg right here, and also be connected back to this right channel here. Then I had right channel here connected to the lower leg down here, and in the middle here I had my out of the board signal. That lets me basically decide if I want the left channel when it comes back out, or when it comes out the first time, to be able to be switched directly to the out or flipped and letting it go back in and be connected to the right channel so it can go to the out. Alright, so let's take a look on how I actually wired this up to be a pedal. First off, the reason why there's tape here is because there are more holes in this enclosure than I wanted for this. But I'm not filling them up because I might want to add something more to this pedal later down the line. If you have any fun or interesting ideas for other controls I could add, please talk to me in the comments below and let me know. But for now, we're just going to focus on this right here, which is this little board right here, and the switch to let me go from using both the left and the right channel or just using the left channel. I've plugged a cable in here so you know which is the input. A pedal goes in for this side and comes out on this side. So this is the input and this is the output. It might get a little bit confusing, but hopefully as I turn this around, you can see exactly what is happening. Okay, so I know that this might look a little bit messy. There are wires going in all directions and there is some tape on certain places, but hopefully you can orient anyway. And if you have any questions, you can talk to me in the comments below. So here we have our input jack. This is where the guitar comes in, and we have a lead signal right here. It's the tip, as I've already told you. It's connected to the middle leg right here with a wire. On the bottom here, there's a wire connecting the two most outer legs, like so, and the middle leg is connected up here. This leg here goes to a wire here. It goes up to the board and goes into the left channel, and it comes out on the left channel and goes to the switch via this tiny little wire right here, and then it goes back to the right channel right up here, and then the right channel comes out here and goes to the switch right here. It's a little bit hard to see maybe under all these wires, but there you have the three legs connected. This is the middle leg of the switch, and that goes all the way over here and is connected to this last upper row leg on the switch right here. There is also two LEDs wired as a clipping to this jack right here. This is optional and something that I just did because I wanted this to start clipping a little bit earlier. If you don't know this about a boost, you can make the boost make an overdrive signal by just letting it overpower the amp. And I kind of just want to let it do that a little bit earlier. So that's why I have these. Depending on what you put here, it will start clipping earlier. On the other side of this, there is a ground wire that is going to the jack, just connecting everything. I'm using this ground wire here to make a connection because it's conveniently there. There in the middle of the last row, we have a wire and it's connecting to the lead signal of this jack. And then in the middle here, we have a wire, and that's the middle leg, and it's connected to the lead of the DC jack right there. Also connected there is another wire that goes to the buck converter. Up on the uppermost leg in the middle here, there is a resistor underneath this tape. You can see it right there. That resistor is connected to the positive leg of the LED. The negative leg right there is connected to the ground right here. There is another ground wire here as well, connected over here to the buck converter. On the opposite side of the buck converter, where the signal comes out, there are two wires. The red one is the lead signal and the white one is the ground. And they are going up to the board and into the plus and minus, just like I showed you earlier. And that is powering everything. And that's how I've made this pedal. There is really nothing strange or weird going on here, and this little clipping here is an option. You don't need to use it, and you can use any two you want to. If you don't want to put them here, which you don't have to if you don't want to, but it's a convenient way of doing it if you want to just test something out. You can also put them up here on the connections. I'll show you on this board. Right here we have a plus and a minus, and you can bridge those two connections with two LEDs or two bats or some other diodes that you prefer more, and just create a little circuit that lets you clip them. You most likely have seen what a diode looks like before, and it looks like this. And it must go in a certain direction. This side here is where the signal is leading. The signal can only go in that direction, wherever that line on the part is. It can't go in this direction. So what you need to do when you're building this is you need to take two diodes or LEDs, which is just a form of diodes, you put them next to each other with this little mark opposite. And then you twist the legs together, like so, and you solder them together. Now it won't matter which direction I put them, because as you can see, there is always one black line, or whatever color it has, pointing in one direction. And that will let us create a little diode clipping circuit, or whatever you want to call it. So here you have the pedal, and the only thing left to do is find the backplate and screw it back on. And we can play it, and we can hear what it sounds like. That was a joke that no one understands. But anyway, if you like this video, and if this helped, let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions, you can talk to me in the comments below. If you liked the video, you can press the like button to let me know. I appreciate it, but it also lets me know that I should continue making videos on, for example, how to make pedals, because if you don't let me know, I won't know that you want to see more of those. So that's a great way of letting me know. You can also tell me in the comments below that you like the videos and that you want to see more videos on how to build pedals. And until next time, don't forget to stay awesome and cool and go and build yourself this little pedal. It's a lot of fun. You have 2 pedals in one, or you can choose whichever one you want. I actually prefer the fuzz, so if I didn't have this switch to add, I would most likely just make it into a little fuzz. The going into the circuit and out and back in again and out the other end again is something that I think is really funny, and you can do it to a lot of these boards, and you can just optimize the fact that they are stereo and guitar are in mono. So be creative and have fun, and I'll talk to you guys hopefully in the next video.